Hi guys, welcome to the Disney Vibe Sisters.
I'm Audie.
And I'm Tinley.
And today we're going to be reading Disneyland and Disney World Scary Stories in honor of Halloween. This is a Halloween special. So what we're going to do is we're going to read Disneyland and Disney World ghost stories. And we're going to take turns reading them. And I also want to say these are all legends. They're not real. Sorry to break anybody's fun or ruin the fun, but these are all legends and they're just fun stories. So
Legends mean they can be real.
Okay.
Right.
So I don't want anybody to be scared to go to Disney.
These are questions. Oh, Disney's fine. Disney's chill.
Okay.
I love Disney.
So the first story is the ghost of Walt Disney and Roy Disney. So when Disneyland was being built, Walt had an apartment built on top of the firehouse on Main Street, USA. He did this so he could watch the park during construction and when it opened. He would turn on a lamp in the apartment's window to let cast members know he was there. After Walt passed away in 1966, the lamp was turned on as a tribute to him. There is a legend that shortly after Walt's death, there was a custodian who turned off the lamp after cleaning the apartment, only to later find it lit again when she looked up from the street. She went back to turn it off and locked the door, but when she left and glanced up, she saw the lamp lit again. She went back and turned off the lamp, but this time she saw the lamp turn back on in front of her. Ever since they have kept the lamp on. Disney cast members have also reported to hear knocking and footsteps coming from the apartment. Walt's ghost is said to be at Disneyland, but Roy's is supposedly at Disney World. After Walt passed away, Roy took over the completion of Disney World, which is why his ghost is said to be at Disney World. Guests and cast members have claimed to have seen Roy's ghost walking around Main Street, USA, usually when it's dark and quiet. Roy's ghost is described as being peaceful and smiling.
The story of George. Next is the story of George, the ghost, on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. At Disney World, this is probably one of the most well-known ghost stories at Disney World. So the story goes where there was a worker named George that worked construction on Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Depending on the story, he died from falling or being crushed. Now he haunts the ride, particularly each morning while they open the ride, the cast member has to say good morning and then good night when they close the ride, or he will cause trouble for them. He will do things like causing the ride to break down, causing the ride to shut down, appearing on the ride's monitors, and making calls from the empty control rooms. The fire scene, which is where some say he died. Cast members and guests have reported seeing shadowy figures, flashing lights, hearing unexplained footsteps, and feeling chills, especially during the fire scene of the ride. Some stories say that if the guest says George isn't real while on the ride, there have been some places on the ride that have been nicknamed after George. Like the tower in the fire scene is named George's Tower. And the door near the dog with the keys it will cause a ride malfunction. The jail cell scene was named George's Door because cast members claim to sense his presence when they're near it.
The Lady. The next story is a lesser known one about the lady who supposedly haunts Pirates of the Caribbean. Some people say she is George's lover who wanders around the ride looking for him. She is described as wearing an old-fashioned blue or white dress. This legend comes from guests claiming to see a ghostly feminine figure wearing a dress near the fire scene in the loading dock. People who have seen her have said she was crying, and some guests have claimed to have heard soft crying noises while riding the ride. Her reflection has been seen in glass water and during the treasure scene, which is the final scene of the ride. There's another version of the story saying that two women were riding the ride when the boat went off the track during the drop scene and it crashed, which killed them.
The Little Boy Ghost. So, next we're going to tell some stories from the Haunted Mansion ride. This ride is actually at both Disney World and Land. So, supposedly, this ride is actually haunted. The first story we're going to talk about is the Little Boy. Story has a Disneyland version and a Disney World version, but they're both similar. The Disneyland version goes that there was a young boy named Timmy who loved the Haunted Mansion ride. He died of an illness, and his mom scattered his ashes on the ride. He he is said to hang out near the loading and unloading area of the ride. He is known to cry while looking for his mom, and some cast members have reported hearing crying noises when the ride is closed. The Disney World version is similar, but instead of crying, he seems happy and just rides the ride. Cast members and guests have claimed to see a young boy in a doom buggy, which is the ride vehicle, and when they get a closer look, no one is there. A photographer rode the ride and photographed a ghostly looking little boy in a doom buggy, but he claims there was no one in that doom buggy. This photograph has circulated around online, but there was no proof or credible evidence that it is real.
Scattering ashes. So, real quick, I'm going to talk about how the scattering ashes part of the story has some truth to it. It is common for park guests to scatter their loved ones' ashes at the parks. The most common places they scatter ashes is at the Haunted Mansion, followed by Pirates of the Caribbean, It's a Small World, Dumbo's Flying Elephant, and the flower beds. Disney has rules against this, and if you're caught scattering ashes, you'll be escorted out of the park, and the site where the ashes were scattered will be cleaned with a vacuum. And also, Disney is very clean and cleans the rides multiple times a day. Man with a cane. So the next story is about the man with a cane. This legend is just at Disney World's Haunted Mansion. The story goes cast members working alone have seen a man with a cane riding the ride when it's closed. When they speak to him, he doesn't respond and vanishes. He is described as a man wearing old-fashioned clothes with a cane in his lap or hand. He is supposedly the ghost of a pilot that died when his plane crashed into Bay Lake in the 1940s. Bay Lake is a lake that is north and east of Magic Kingdom by Contemporary and Wilderness Lodge resorts, and it connects to Seven Seas Lagoon.
Space Mountain. Space Mountain is a space themed roller coaster in the dark at both Disney World and Disneyland. So, supposedly, both parks, Space Mountains, are haunted. Disneyland's ride is supposedly haunted by a ghost called Mr. One Way. He is described as a red-haired man with rosy face who appears as a normal park guest. He is known to have conversations with other guests while waiting in line and sitting next to single riders. But after the ride is over, he vanishes without a trace. Some cast members have claimed to see him in the cast member locker rooms. Disney World version of the story goes that there was a maintenance worker who died making the ride. They say he roams the ride and has been seen on the reflections of the metal rails. Guests have reported seeing shadowy figures in the queue and hearing whispers noises in the dark. So now we're gonna say
our
our favorite ones.
So we decided our favorite ones is George as one because he's just an
Yes.
iconic ghost story. Next is
The space dude. What's it called?
Mr. One Way, and then the little boy. Just because I feel like, right?
It was the cane man.
Oh, the cane man. The little boy can be there too. So thank you guys for watching.
We really like Haunted Mansion. She especially.
So thank you guys for watching this video. We have more coming. We have a Grand Floridian and Pop Century Resort tours coming, and we just have some more Disney vlogs coming. We have some Disneyland stuff coming up. Some Christmas Disneyland stuff coming up in the next a month. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys for watching.
Bye.